One of the major challenges in India is for providing social security measure to the people in the unorganized sector. We really need to have the right product to reach out to these people. We should have institutional mechanism which is accessible to these people. And third is the cost, affordability. So it should all be done at a cost which is affordable to these people.
Social security in India has largely been hampered by the accessibility part of it. The poor actually don't know where to go to avail these services.
Usually the pension scheme can be implemented through the employers, right? But given that we have 93% of the labor force in the informal sector, the pension scheme in India is a very special and unique problem to India. So that is what we have to address first.
The two issues are the financial literacy, lack of financial literacy, and the other issue is that basically the long-term view which people don't have, especially the large population which is not very rich, which is poor, and they don't have money even to pay for the next meal. So thinking about a pension 20 years later is a big problem for them.
Redefining how these social security benefits are transferred to poor people, especially in rural areas, especially in forested areas. So there's not really an incentive for banks and other financial service providers. The second issue is that we don't really think about designing a payment system keeping in mind the user in mind.
A key challenge also is the problem that most of India is not adequately insured or is uninsured. Now, directly it doesn't seem to be related to pensions, but when we go back and talk to customers, we find that because people don't have an insurance, they tend to use up savings as a way to mitigate or overcome the risk of emergencies.
One is designing the product so that it caters to the needs of these people. And number two is, for that segment of the population which is way down the income ladder, they have to be supported through some kind of a subsidized program. So an element of subsidy comes in here because the government meets the gap. So that's important. So APY is a kind of a reformed product, though we have moved away from defined contribution purely to defined benefit somewhat, but it's a good combination which I think should be win-win for everyone.
So what we have tried to do in India is a strategy which is very different. We have tried to form a bank account as the foundation on which the social security schemes can be provided. And as we talk, more than 110 million people have already insured for three schemes of life insurance and pensions, which were recently started by the Government of India. And what makes things very easy for the poor is that they don't have to remember the premium payment dates, the subscription rates, etc., because all that work is done through an auto debit facility which happens through their bank account. So largely we're trying to crack this problem.
The pension scheme is something that is good for everybody, not only for the person who is within the pension setup, right? So therefore we have to start treating pension as a public good. And therefore it has to be beyond the commercial interests of an individual, how much he or she is paying in, how much he or she is being promised. It has to be more than that.
I think first measure what I will suggest is thinking about some kind of comprehensive product. So instead of having just a pension product where people only pay for pension, it will be better if they pay for example, a product which has insurance component, pension component, so that they also see some immediate benefit out of the whatever they put for the pension.
And I think we need to all bring various stakeholders together, each department replicating its own design, its own payment system is actually a waste of public expenditure. And how can we piggyback on infrastructure that already exists?
While most of the pieces of the ecosystem already exist, they're still disaggregated to a large extent. So I think that's the second thing, and that's perhaps more the role for the regulator, where using good technology, I think it is feasible to integrate the ecosystem pieces that will help NPS and pension reforms in India to succeed, and to then deliver the scheme and deliver the services related to the scheme through a single window to all beneficiaries, regardless of whether they are rich or poor, living in urban or rural areas.
The way to go forward is probably a lot of counseling, a lot of financial literacy. And why pensions are important? Because many of the poor people don't have that concept of retirement. that I will keep on working till I die. But if you were to talk to them, then you'll be able to understand that yes, things are a little bit different. So if you're able to have a good financial literacy campaign, or I would say a sustainable campaign which talks to them clearly about what are the benefits of these schemes, I would see far greater numbers than what we are seeing presently.
Yeah, we are looking at then integration of the various products within the financial market, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing that the pension product is also being looked at not so much from the social sector, pure social sector point of view, which is the government has to provide everything, but from a financial sector point of view. So integrating all the financial social security products into a financial sector package is what is important, and that's what the PMJDY has done.